Is it possible that we're overreacting? I mean, they were up 23-7 and blew it against a team that did throw 5 interceptions, but that team is now 8-1, the Detroit Lions. Is it possible we're overreacting? I saw this tweet from our friend DJ Bieneme of ESPN. The Texans started 6-4 last year. They went on to the divisional round. Tonight, talking about Sunday, is a bad loss. It's not a season-ending type loss. They're right where they were last year through 10 games. Still a lot to play for. Still have a decent AFC South lead.
Okay, he's right. He is 100% correct. But it doesn't factor in the hype around the team. The jump that we all thought there was going to be. I mean, remember, DJ, and I know you'll talk to him tomorrow because I won't be here, picked originally the Colts to win the division.
Uh-huh.
And then he changed his mind.
Right before the start of the season.
So it always kind of felt like he was a little more grounded with his expectations for the Texans this year than a lot of us. And so that's why like he is right. Like they're in the same spot they were last year, but it's the pushback is really it's the hype before the season, the assumption that we had of a jump in offense with the new shiny toys and things like that.
That's fair. The interesting thing with the hype, though, is the hype really, we don't know whether or not it was too good to be true or if it was merited until the end of the year. It's definitely not trending towards it living up to the hype at this moment in time, especially now that Stephon Diggs is out for the year. We haven't seen Nico Collins in 5 games. That is certainly killing the vibes a little bit here. But he is right in that they're in a pretty good spot to still change things. I just think a lot of us are of the belief that there's no reason to believe they will change things. It took an injury for them to shake up the offensive line, and the running game seems to be negatively affected by that right away. And on top of that, they cannot score in the second half of games. That is a season-long problem.
Yeah, and even like thinking long-term, like where you're at this year versus where you're going. Last year you played Joe Flacco and the Browns in the first round of the playoffs. This year, it seems pretty clear you're going to play either the Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens, or Los Angeles Chargers in the first round of the playoffs. So if the Steelers hold on to the North, like Lamar Jackson's coming to town in the first round of the playoffs. That's not what you want if you're a Texans fan. Like the idea you're going to win a playoff game and then move on to the next round. Justin Herbert could be coming to town. Like it's going to be a more daunting task in the first round of the playoffs this year, no matter what. So I think people they're just disappointed with how the season's gone. But we probably are being too negative at the same time. Like you did go toe-to-toe with the Lions. You did beat the Buffalo Bills, who are the number 2 seed in the AFC. One of their 2 losses is to you. Nico Collins, Will Anderson, Mario Edwards, like we'll all be back soon. And you would think at some point the offensive line will marginally improve.
You hope.
Yep.
I saw someone put up a post on Texans Reddit. Optimism! Labeled Kool-Aid. As we all know, their loss was bad. Bad. And I'm tired of hearing the doomers in this sub being all doom and gloom about our season. So he pointed out some positive things. First 3 quarters, defense, awesome. Joe Mixon had an off game, still at 70 yards. John Mechie, breakout game. He'll only get better. Stroud was nails with Tank Dell, John Mechie, and Dalton Schultz in the first half, slinging the rock.
This is almost like too optimistic for me.
It is 100%. I agree.
Because like you're just taking everything until it goes bad.
Mario Edwards back from suspension. Texans swarm. Huh?
Yeah. The best part about blowing a 23-6 lead.
Yeah, scored 19-0 in the second half.
No, that's the worst part. The best part is that you had a lead.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
So if you only look at half the game, it's nothing to be mad at.
I mean, really, up until there was 8 minutes and 16 seconds left on the clock in the third quarter, when Jared Goff threw his 5th pick of the game. I cannot believe there was that much time left in the game when he threw his 5th pick.
I can't
It's
believe-
remarkable.
I can't believe there's that much time left. We didn't get one more. I
agree.
thought for sure. If you asked me
Yes.
at that second, I'd be like, we're getting 6, maybe even 7.
Yeah, if you could have set the under at 6.5 in that moment, I think most people said, yeah, he's getting to 7 for sure. I mean, this is the first time, like, and where it's, are we being too optimistic? Are we being too negative? Well, the Texans just did something that hasn't happened since 2012. They lost a football game in which the opposing quarterback threw 5 picks. Matt Ryan against the Arizona Cardinals was the last person to do this. Like you're on the wrong side of history, man. It's been 12 years.
It is funny though too. I mean, just thinking about the interceptions they got in that game. Remember the caller we had yesterday? I think Jeff was asking, "Oh, hey, why didn't they have different coverage there?" Well, I mean, they had 5 picks. You know, I think the coverage was working. Obviously, Goff was related to a lot of those misfires,
Yeah.
but it was working pretty good to get 5 interceptions. That's a positive spin.
Yeah, it's just that one play where you have Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I agree.
Closest guy to him is
Aziz
Al-Shaair.
Al-Shaair, yeah.
And I get it. They're probably playing a zone there, but still,
Yeah.
you don't love that. But no, overall, great pass defense. Hey, their takeaway numbers are going to be off the charts. They're going to have their defensive numbers.
Yeah.
I don't know. What does DVOA have to say about 5
Yeah,
picks? I bet they like it.
What does Bill Barnwell have to say about regression to the mean on winning the takeaway
Yeah.
battle? You nerd.
Take that, Bill Barnwell.
Yeah.
Is this not a pro Bill Barnwell show?
Yeah, I'm indifferent.
Not
I,
this year.
I
No.
don't understand why he's an authority on football because he has a grasp of numbers, but hey, whatever. That's fine.
That's fine. Yeah, look, this is my also guess is this Redditor. What do you think the age is of this kid, this person?
37.
17.
Because I think it's way too optimistic to be over 25
Why?
because of Texans history.
Well, what if
Like
what if you still believe?
like I think this person might not be able to buy me a beer.
A young person is the only person who can be optimistic about a future? Come on, man.
I think so.
Yeah, I think
Especially a Texans fan.
yeah.
Tomorrow they're going to be, well, maybe Thursday. At some point this week, the Texans are going to be 0-0 again.
Yeah.
And we'll be saying, look, they're in a great spot. You know,
Their first 3 games of the season.
they're back in the preseason these next first 3 weeks
Yeah, we're just trying. These are
of the
get
season.
right.
Yeah. Hey.
Does comparing them to other teams make you feel better? Does comparing the Texans to teams like the Bears, who fired their offensive coordinator today, the Giants, who are still stuck with Daniel Jones, the Jets, who, yes, beat the Texans, but are now battling people on social media. I don't know how many people saw Sauce Gardner. He's getting mad about the many missed tackles the Jets had yesterday being brought up. Oh, yeah, that's the reason that we lost is one of my missed tackles. A very me move, but that's all he's ever been about. Do these other situations make you feel better? They don't make me feel better. They don't. Like, I feel like you're removed from that. Last year, being removed from that was cool. This year, being removed from that is not enough. I am thankful that they are removed from that, but I am starting to forget what it was like to be there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think there's almost like 2 categories of these teams. There's the bottom of the barrel of the NFL, the Titans, the Jags, the Browns, the Raiders, even the Patriots and the Giants. Like those teams like who had no expectations this year. And then I think you can put the overhyped crowd of teams that are below expectations. So like you've got the Jets with like guys like Greeny putting them in the Super Bowl, Nick Wright, moron. Sorry for those that like him.
Whoa.
Pick the Bears to go to the Super Bowl.
You're just
not me.
zagging.
Hey, he went to Syracuse. He's not a moron.
The season is not over,
The
sir.
Dallas Cowboys, like people that pick them to go to Super Bowl. So like, right. So my point is like, there's those 3 teams plus the Texans. They are all projected to go to the Super Bowl this year, and all are failing to meet expectations. But the Texans are 6-4, and those teams are all going to or have fired their coaches.
Of the teams that have fallen short of preseason expectations, the Texans probably are the best of that group.
Yes. So I feel better that at least you're not those guys. Don't put yourself in the conversation with the Giants and
Yeah, the
The Raiders.
Giants,
That's
they
pathetic
play
if
in
you
a
wanna do
different NFL than the Texans do.
they might as well be.
They're way down there.
Yeah, they're almost roughnecks at this point.
Okay. Almost Roughnecks. Hey, Listen, I'm wearing my
Oh,
Yeah.
you are.
5-0
Don't
ironic.
disrespect the Roughnecks.
undefeated Houston Roughnecks shirt. I will not take slander for our beloved Houston Roughnecks. I hope Amy Adams doesn't see the logo on this shirt. I know she probably wants to remove it from my body because it's a great bod, but I do not consent. I do not consent. What? Everyone wants this. What? She doing
It's
better?
just a mental image to put in my head.
Everybody wants.
Some of us listen.
Amy Adams trying to rip off your shirt.